goes towards the rent, and so does part of hers. And then the rest of hers goes towards the utilities, the gas and electric.
I see. Okay, we're on the phone. Hello, everybody. I'm David John Sponheim, and this is America's Third Party. We are doing a live broadcast, which will be recorded for future uploads to YouTube. Tonight, we're talking to a person who receives food stamps and is doing barely enough to get by, essentially. Right, Carl? Is that how you feel? You could use a little bit more to get by. Is that how you feel?
There's a little pause in the chat, so.
Yes, Harry is correct. A lot of the times when you pay your bills online, you can actually pay JP Morgan.
Because Section 8 housing, all the places down here are too dangerous to live with that has Section 8. So what...
Okay. Yeah, most people don't realize that JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley are getting in on
we're waiting on is Molly qualifies for rent from what we have, so we can live where we want with, and they'll have help with rent. The service waiver also will bring.
Yeah, I know there is a huge amount of lag there. Okay.
Well, this is the good point, and I want everyone to know that we cannot possibly get rid of our social welfare system. But at America's Third Party, we have a plan, and that is to loop the money that the government currently spends out to food stamps. Now, this past year, they've spent close to $85 billion on food stamps. A lot of that money went to non-U.S. citizens, legal immigrants, they're called. That's something that we don't want to do. We don't want to give them our U.S. tax dollars, especially when they didn't pay into the system. But there are American citizens that deserve food stamps, and we need to maintain a certain amount to everybody that's currently receiving them. That being said, listen to this new idea we have. It's called the Essential Food Plan. And what it will do is we'll take the food that the farmers are told not to grow with farm subsidies and have them grow food, use that food, put it into the system, and create frozen entrees that are tasty for people who are willing to spend $2 on each entree. Frozen entrees could be very good and very tasty and low fat, low salt, and low sugar. That being said, the government then becomes a provider of food. So when they go take their EBT cards to the store, they can buy generic foods made by the government, thereby looping the money that goes out every single year in the USDA program. USDA manages both farm subsidies and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, which would automatically give the USDA a lot more money back, meaning the taxpayers save money. This is just one of our ideas on our website at americasthirdparty.com. All of this will change the way we handle our country's business. If we get our country to run efficiently, we will see massive savings that will translate to the taxpayers and to the people who are currently receiving social benefits. For instance, if a person were to buy a house right now, they'd be looking at a lot of mortgage crisis problems. Maybe you're in a mortgage crisis problem. Maybe you're facing foreclosure. Well, our homestead renewal plan will save your house from completely going under. We'll actually give the people that are being foreclosed the first option to buy the rebuilt or renovated house that the homestead renewal plan will take care of. We're going to offer jobs, fixing up houses, renovating them. And at the same time, create those shovel-ready jobs that Barack Obama said, well, maybe they're not so shovel-ready after all. But they are, and they're waiting. And even Tim Geithner, the Treasury Secretary, said recently, before he left his post as Treasury Secretary, because we have a new guy now, he said that we need a 3-year plan to solve America's housing crisis. And we've got a 3-year plan, the Homestead Renewal Plan, and this is a way in which the government can flip houses. Simple. They go into a city like Detroit, buy up a block of neighborhoods at $5,000 a house, put fencing around it, put a security guard on both sides, and rebuild and gentrify the neighborhood. Providing jobs with the money that we put in, we will flip those houses right back to various people who can afford them, people that are not investors, people that are buying for the first time, or they just lost their house. And maybe that was their house they lost. Possible. Either way, we're going to give them the first option to buy the renovated homes. And these homes will be closer to $40,000 a piece, but they'll be beautiful. and all the things that we do to them will make them last long. And the best thing about the program is that people will discover the pride of home ownership and the pride of fixing up things. That's something that projects of the past in Chicago and New York never really did. They left people thinking they could just spray paint walls and it was okay. People that fix up houses know the importance of what they're doing. Now, a question came in the room earlier. What about, are you paying companies like JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley when you're using your welfare money or your Social Security money or your food stamps? Yes, Morgan Stanley draws income every time you use your food stamp card. The government is paying these big banks to handle the food stamp program. And same with the new Social Security cards that are being issued. JP Morgan will earn a commission on every single draw that you make on that card. Can you believe this? You see, the banks have maneuvered themselves into a position where they can just dine on your tax money. It's like a daily freebie for the banks. And these banks are so rich, they have nowhere to put their money. So they don't even think of investing in American business. They want to invest in Dubai and China instead. So we've got a plan to actually get those banks out of the scenario of social spending.
Let's talk about what you would do for student loans.
The FAFSA loan system is really in disrepair. We definitely will lock down on the current interest rate, maintain that so that we don't increase interest on the FAFSA loans, but people are defaulting right now. They've got a 13% default rate.
Bye, I'm gonna get going.
Okay, Carl, thanks for coming into our show. Appreciate it. Take care. Good night. 13% of the people right now in their FAFSA loans, of all the loans that are out, there's $1.3 trillion worth of student loans sitting outstanding right now. 13% of them are not paying back. And that's a problem. So we need to make sure that if we're going to loan money, we have to make sure that people can afford to pay it back, and that money is going toward a career education where someone will make money enough to pay the loans back. But our plan is to actually double the Pell Grants and lock in on tuition rates, so that any university or college that wants to cash a Pell Grant is going to do that with a fixed tuition rate that's approved by the U.S. government. That is the only way we're going to be able to handle this. We need to use our buying power at a lot of these universities to give students power in controlling rates. And I'd also like to tell schools not to charge or gouge people on books. Books are a huge expense right now. And, you know, if a person has a Pell Grant of, say, $3,800 a quarter, they're going to need to have enough money to spend on books and tuition simultaneously. And right now, it doesn't even get close. Some schools are charging $8,000 a quarter minimum in most states. Seriously, combining books and tuition and housing. I believe that we can do a lot better with the buying power of the American government. And we need to also give people jobs. So that's a big plus. Another area where we're going to reform education is our 6-week to 6-month training program, which will authorize state and local communities to basically line up jobs for people and training for people at local community colleges that will be within 6 weeks to 6 months in training. So within 6 weeks, you could be a solar panel installer, making $20 an hour. That's just an example. Within 6 months, you could be emergency medical technician, making $30 an hour, and still be doing something you enjoy doing. We have a private-public partnership to make in that area, so that we know the jobs are waiting for people when they finish their 6-week to 6-month training program. So Sarah is diligently typing to everybody in chat. Thank you very much. Springtime 25 says it's not nice to be making fun of someone who's homeless. Just saying, before you talk, you need to walk a mile in the shoes to know what he's going through. I'm sorry, but that makes me so mad. Please be nice to him. He cannot help it. Springtime. Let's give you a little background on Taurus Bull. He was in our room all last week, live, represented on camera.
And David actually had him on video on cam.
We had him on camera the whole of last week, and toward the end of the week, he had a little breakdown. And you know he is schizophrenic, and he's not being treated. He had a little breakdown, and he started yelling at me, calling me names in the room. We left him in the show, but we don't have him on cam right now. But he is definitely somebody we're concerned about, and he's getting $700 a month, and he doesn't have any place to live out in Arizona. And I do care about what you're doing, what you're going through. No, it's really you. So we understand where you're going. And we understand that if we don't get some low-cost housing for you, Taurus Bull, you won't be able to live anywhere.
I already banned that person in Touristville.
I'd like to see you in a motel room with climate control and a kitchenette on Section 8 funding. That's what I want to see for you.
I would also like to see you donate like an hour of your time a day to doing things like painting rooms that need renovating, or helping in the garden, or helping in the laundry. Just 1 hour a day.
Yeah.
In exchange for that.
Yeah, if you could do that, if you could give a little bit of yourself back, that would be great. We really would like that. You know, even helping sort through clothes at the local help house for people, that would be good. Well, thank you very much. I believe that our show will continue to the end of this hour with Sarah. I'm going to give Sarah some time to talk to all of you and show her your views. Tell her what you think about the country, because she can respond directly to your questions. And after that, I'll be doing the after show. So I think this recording could run till the end of the top of the hour.
Oh, yes. How are you? You're recording this? Okay.
Yes.
This? Or... Okay.
I'm recording the show.
Fantastic. All right. No, that would be perfectly fine. I'm very good with what we're doing, Jim Thomas. Thank you for all of your advice and support. I do appreciate that. Yeah, David, you tried your mow lawn for $10 idea and made some extra money just for fun. You went to some people's houses and said, "Hey, I've got extra gas in my mower.
Wow.
Can I mow your lawn for $10?" And
cool.
I would definitely. Some days I would definitely say sure.
Yeah.
You know?
I would love to see everybody look at a small business option if you are running out of money. You can buy a lawnmower for as low as $150 right now, and you can pretty much offer lawn mowing this summer to all of your neighbors if you need money. And I know a lot of you are struggling for money right now. Chucky, I hear your new movie is out. How's it going? Yeah, Chucky's return to film. I'm not sure how his show's going.
Sounds very good, Robert. So one person is going to a university and they want to possibly arrange for you to talk to the students at that university.
We can do a live Skype to Skype.
Via video chat. I think that would be very good. Okay.
I'd like to talk to more people, but our nightly show is still cooking, and we do believe that it'll grow in size and scope. We are going to need to focus on how we can get the signal out on a cable modem at 3 megabyte upload speeds. That's the goal.
I know, I almost did that. Actually, it's already done.
Yeah, we figured out the problem.
Go have fun starting your own show where you can have all the free speech you want.
Yes, enjoy your free speech in your own show. K Tulu says, "What's up, Dave?" at Battlecam. You know, it's been a great time tonight. We especially enjoyed talking about the government waste that's happening. $95 billion a year for the IRS, $72 billion a year for the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, that's a cool 167 whatever. Yeah, $167 billion. We could save that. We could downsize the amount the IRS charges. We can definitely cut the amount the Department of Homeland Security is charging. And we can still maintain good, strong advantage in guaranteeing our secure borders. You know, the Department of Homeland Security hasn't been that secure. They've actually not been checking the luggage on 85% of luggage coming into this country in airplanes. This is a known fact that was revealed in 2006 by Clark Kent Irving of the Department of Homeland Security Initiative. That's pretty wild, isn't it? 2007 he said that. Yeah, so they're not even checking all the luggage at the airport. They're costing us dearly for the TSA. And the TSA comprises a bunch of rent-a-cops that don't even know what they're doing. Rent-a-cops. You heard me. This is my vice presidential choice, K. Tulu. My Sarah Hart is my vice presidential choice for 2016. All right. Yeah, TSA is a joke, Jimmy. I totally agree with you. At Vaughn. I'm not sure about rent a kid. I think you can be a foster parent, Tata King. I don't really support that.
I'm married to David, but what am I?
We're partners, and we work as business partners in life, and we're working to build a third party. So yeah.
Campaign manager, vice presidential candidate. So
this is all about improving our entire effort in America to get a voice.
Can you give me that margarine? Let me see. Can you give me the full name? You can click their name and highlight it, because I simply muted them earlier.
No, I brought up the R word earlier, and I realized when I said that we're retarding our progress.
If you want to volunteer to be a media manager, I would love that. I can't afford to pay a media manager, but I would definitely love a media manager.
As a rule, I don't use the R word, as a rule. But when I say our country is retarding its progress, I had to use that word.
Well,
it wasn't a reference to anybody in the room.
I would say somebody that came on board as a media manager early on and we were successful, would definitely have, more potential and down the road. I can't promise anything. I can't promise to pay you. Can't promise to pay you later. Anything like that.
Oh, the R word is the R word is the word I said when I said retard progress. If we retard progress, that's the R word. I try to avoid using it. We slow it down. But if I were to use the other R word, racist, then I'd probably be an Obama-tard, calling another person who's questioning Obama a racist. And I'm not an Obama-tard, and I'm not calling anyone a racist. In fact, I think the racist word is as bad to some people as the N word is to African Americans, frankly. In fact, I see more African Americans calling each other the R word or the N word than I could even imagine. But they never call each other the R word. It's kind of strange. I've never used a racial slur in my life. I have called people Obama-tards, yes. But if you're a white person who's tired of being called a racist simply because you don't like Obama, then you need to get involved with America's third party. Because this is about free speech. This country is about protecting our core values.
Then Doyle, maybe you should go watch his show. Gonna buy your tinfoil hat. If you get us a major mainstream interview, you can have it.
You have one? Okay. Dave, is Obama gay? Yes, he is.
You have a tinfoil hat, KT Radio?
I've never used a racial slur in my life, Wally Lump Lump.
Easier. Well,
ever.
I don't know if David wants to put the tinfoil hat on eBay. And by the way, it's actually not tinfoil, it's Mylar, which is even better.
That's right. According to Larry Sinclair, who passed a lie detector test with 99% certainty, Obama had performed oral sex with him. I'm not sure who did who to who, but it happened. And 1999, in a limousine, Larry Sinclair had a sexual encounter with Barack Obama.
Were you going to go get some coffee? Because I'll be finished in about, 10 minutes?
Yep. I'll be right back.
Or do you need coffee?
No, we're good. And then we'll stop the local recording when I come back.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Because I didn't know we could do a local recording.
I'm trying it out. I'm seeing if it'll upload tonight.
Okay. I didn't know that we could do that while we were live. Usually it doesn't allow that. But maybe it does.
I don't know what it's taping.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you heard it here. Yeah, one of the things. So, we are located in Washington State. We really enjoy it, and we've been doing our show for quite a while now, since 2008. In 2008, I ran for Washington State Senate, and David ran as a write-in candidate for that's pretty cool. The same style as you. And also David ran as a write-in candidate for president. Yeah, sure. No, David's not going to bring you back a cup of coffee. You can sorry. And yeah, I had some goulash tonight. David's an excellent cook. My name is Sarah Hart. I am the campaign manager and also the vice presidential candidate for America's Third Party for president for the United States. So I am actually running for Vice President of the United States. David's actually running for President of the United States. And we're not single, we're together. I was a candidate in 2008 for Washington State Senate. Noam Chomsky is pretty interesting, totally bogus. I am not related to Hitman Hart, but yeah, I'm not related to a whole lot of other Harts, but that is rather interesting. I love my name. I'm gonna keep it always. One of the reasons I'm not married is I love my name so much. So anyway, so a little bit about America's Third Party. We are a centrist political party. That means we're right in the middle of the political spectrum. With, as far as the Democrats really like us, because we actually are the party that believes in the environment. At the same time, we understand, so we want to move toward renewable energy as much as possible, but we also understand that there are many hardworking people out there, for instance, especially in the coal industry and in other industries. So we have to segue in a way that also takes into account all of these hard workers. All right. The other thing is, Republicans like us, or even some people that are breaking away from the Republican Party are like us, because we actually strongly believe in border defense and securing our borders, which ironically doesn't seem to be the case in Washington right now. Sometimes they're passing laws that seem like it's just amnesty to people who've entered our country illegally. We would like to change, we would like people to actually, instead of having people just come over here, stay for a while, and become a U.S. citizen, we'd like to change it so that they can become a U.S. citizen while they're over in their own country and have that process go through U.S. embassies overseas. It's a little bit different idea, but the thing is that would encourage people to actually go home to their home country in order to actually go through the process of becoming a citizen. Yeah, we definitely have to get us on the media as much as possible. So I do have a one page on our main website, which is americasthirdparty.com /talk radio. If you go there, I have some links to ways to get all the media information. For instance, all the newspapers and all the radio stations. And if you guys could start calling news stations, emailing them, that would really, really help us. Where can you buy Hybrid Capitalism? So we do have a book for sale on our main site. So if you go to let me double check this one. It should be americasthirdparty.com /store. See. Oh gosh, what is it? It's a node, isn't it? Node 333. Sorry, for some reason it doesn't. I have to get pretty URLs. So anyway, actually, if you go to, I'll give you the link to where you can buy our book, and also you can buy not only our book, but you can also buy banners, you can buy t-shirts. I think on the bottom of that page, let me double check. There we go. You can actually print out free flyers and free bumper stickers. So if you don't have money to buy things to support us, you can definitely just print them out on your printer, or even go to your local library. Some libraries offer like 80 pages a week just printing out, so you could definitely print them out there. Oh, good question. If you were going to donate, what are the funds going to go toward? So they're going to David John Sponheim for President's campaign, and those would be used to specifically pay for our websites, also commercial advertising, and as little as $5 donation can go to paying our airtime to get us on television, on cable television, because just like $5, we do the production ourselves. And there's also been, or if you want to create a spot for us, see if you create a 20-second spot, we can add the 4-second requirement at the end because it requires a little thing with the FEC. But if you wanted to make a spot for us, your video editor, you can actually do that, and it's like $5 will get us a television spot. You think it went up 25 cents, so it's like maybe $6 donation. Yeah, if you did like a $10 donation, that could definitely get us a television spot on cable television. And you know, one of the things that we are looking to do is advertise on cable television and start in Iowa. And another thing that you can do is, if you have a phone and you don't have, you know, the time to do all the calling the media, but you're really good on the phone, just start calling people in Iowa and telling them about us, because really we're trying to push Iowa to collect signatures to get David on the ballot, because if we can get David on the ballot in Iowa, that will send him straight to the general election. You can download that petition on our main page. That will send him straight to the general election, and then when all the Democrats and Republicans are campaigning for their primaries, we say, hey, here's the candidate. He's already on the general election in Iowa. Why bother with those guys? And
that would be nice.
They'll get some major mainstream media coverage.
That would be great, yeah. So the buzz will increase over time as we approach the next election cycle. I'm thinking of running for the U.S. House of Representatives here in Washington for the 2014 election. And if I had a 2-year term, I could show the American people what this is all about, and then I'd be ready to go for the presidency in 2016. So that's an option too we're thinking of. But we are going to get a direct donation. If we get a direct donation to our thing to get into the local election, because someone, I believe Reverend B, said that he wanted to put us into the local elections, we could do that. We could actually get America's Third Party out there in the next election. Now, we ran an election in 2008, and Sarah ran for a state senator in the 10th district, and she got 5% of the vote. She came in third, obviously, against the two parties, but still, she did almost as well as anybody else in the past, libertarians or otherwise. Anyway, folks, this is the end of the recorded broadcast period. I want to thank you all for coming in and participating in our show. Any last words tonight?
Please join us live every weeknight at americasthirdparty.com and just click the video chat button. We look forward to hearing what you have to say, especially via chat. And that's why we have these shows every night.